No, it wasn't me. It was IG. They said we were having too much fun. Oh, see, I told you. Instagram said we were having too much fun. They tried to stop our fun.
Going on?
Mm-mm. Y'all not gonna do it, Meta. Meta them. Anyway, so for those who are just joining, this is Five Songs to Change Your Life. I'm your host, Pure. This is my special guest, the one and only TC Carson. And we just listened to Reasons by Earth, Wind, and Fire. So tell me why you included that song on your list. How did that song change your life?
Um, Reasons changed my life because of Philip Bailey. Um, I grew up in high school in this Baptist church out in Argo, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago.
Hmm.
And our choir director, Kenny Ward, had the most beautiful falsetto voice. I mean, it was just crazy, crazy whistle tones and all that crap.
Oh, wow.
Uh, I started mimicking him then, but I just didn't really use it. I didn't have any reason to other than church, you know. And I heard Philip Bailey and Earth, Wind and Fire, and I got into a band in at school, and we did a lot of Earth, Wind and Fire stuff. I did all of Philip Bailey um, lines in the Earth, Wind and Fire stuff we did, and it was a way to. Uh, it got me out singing on campus. It got me working more with the band on a regular basis.
Mm, very nice. Very nice.
Just again expanded my range, like a different way to another kind of way to sing.
I love it. I love it. So just building on those foundations that you already established with the fifth dimension, the first time you sang on stage, and then Nat King Cole adding that jazzy thing to your repertoire, and then we went to Earth, Wind, and Fire. It gave you that band experience.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So we're going to add another element to TC's musical journey. The one and only Al Jarreau. For his fourth song, he actually chose an entire album, which obviously we can't play. We play a bit of a song and they try to cut us off, but they're not going to stop our fun, y'all. Look to the Rainbow was a live album that Al Jarreau released in 1977. We're
Mhm.
going to listen to just a hint of that, and then we'll talk more, okay? I see y'all in the comments and in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, y'all keep the comments coming, keep the questions coming. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. It's the scat for me. Oh, yeah, I can't give y'all too much of that. Y'all not ready for all that. That's a whole language he's singing to y'all. So tell me, how did Look to the Rainbow, the live album by Al Jarreau, change your life?
It's a whole language. It's a whole language, a whole different way to sing. You know, coming up in
Mm.
and having all these amazing singers. And forgive me, my eyes are really working my nerves tonight. So please forgive me with all this wiping and crap.
He emotional, y'all. He crying because y'all being so sweet to him.
Um, uh, Al showed me that there was a different way to sing, that the voice could be an instrument as well, not just a vocal thing.
Hmm.
And that you could use it for percussion, you could use it to mimic horns and guitars. And I had had some of that listening to Ella and listening to Sarah back in the day because they scattered, you know. And so did Lou Rawls.
Hmm.
Um, but Al really, he kind of solidified that it was a different way to sing. And I studied him so much that at one point people were like, "You sound just like Al Jarreau." And at that point, I stopped singing his music.
Mm.
I didn't want to sound like Al Jarreau. I really didn't. I wanted to sound like me, but when you when you're taught by somebody, you learn what they learn.
Hmm. Very
You know,
true.
so I didn't start singing his stuff until maybe a couple of years back.
Okay. Okay.
A couple of years
So
back.
instead of running from it, you embraced it.
Yeah, well, I really want to do a tribute album for him, and
Oh
it's
wow.
hard to pick the tunes. It's just so hard to pick what to do.
He has so many wonderful songs. Yeah.
Yeah, and Al is a beast. You can't ever, some of that stuff I can't do. So but we're working on it.
I love it. I love it. So yeah, you guys, if you do get a chance to see TC live, make sure you do, because he will be scatting, he will be speaking the language of jazz as Al Jarreau and Ella and so many of those others that he mentioned have, and he does it so well. So y'all make sure y'all catch
Thank you.
him live when you get the opportunity. Excuse me. I have to ask on my own behalf, but also on behalf of the guest. Going back to Living Single, your
Hmm.
iconic role as Kyle Barker, I know that you did have opportunities to sing on that show and to show a bit of what you do musically
Hmm.
inside of your acting. Was that important to you as the actor, or was that just something that they incorporated in for you?
It was something that they realized I could do, and it worked, so we used it.
Got it.
Yeah.
And kept it going because I think you sang like 5 or 6 times, right?
Well, at least three or four.
Okay. Okay.
Two, three, four. Yeah, at least four.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. And people, trust me, when I told them that you were coming on the show, they referred to those times. I'm like, yeah, he sounded great singing on the show. And is he gonna sing? I don't know, y'all. I ain't gonna ask him to do all that. We just gonna talk about the music. Honeysuckle Rose, I keep seeing that one go up. They love your version of that. They want to hear you sing it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But y'all can refer to his recordings. They are downloadable and streaming on your favorite platforms. So make sure y'all go support this man by downloading his music, by streaming his music. It is available for you.
Yes, please.
So the last song of five, I can't believe we're almost at the end, is My Funny Valentine. So I have to tell on you a little
Uh-oh.
bit. So
Uh-oh.
y'all, he sent me his list. And it was, he just said My Funny Valentine. He didn't put no artists on it. I responded and I said, sir, like 5 million people have sung this doggone song. Which one you talking about? But no, we're going to listen to the Shaka Khan rendition that came
Uh-huh.
from the Waiting to Excel soundtrack. Babyface did his thing on the production. Shaka did her thing on the vocal. And then we'll talk more, all right? Again, y'all keep these hearts going up. Show this man all of his love. Give him all of his flowers. He is so deserving.
Love you, love you, love you. Thank you.
Yes, and if you have any questions, make sure you put them in the comments. Ooh, the hearts are going up. We love it. We love it. Yes, yes, yes. Oops, that was my fault, y'all. But anyway, y'all know how the song goes. Y'all just make sure you revisit that song. Make sure you revisit that entire soundtrack because it's incredible. But My Funny Valentine, specifically that song, how did it change your life?
Well, it's the tune that got my voice in front of all of these people.
Mm?
My voice hadn't been in front of that many people before that, or since that,
Hmm.
or since that. So my funny Valentine really got people to understand that I kind of do sing. I think a lot of times because today art, everything is so compartmentalized. So you have people who are actors, and then you have people subcategories, people who are television actors, and then theater actors, then commercial actors. And sometimes they don't do all of it. They do those things, that one thing.
Hmm.
I come from a generation where you had to do everything. So you had to learn how to act. You had to learn how to dance, at least enough. You had to learn how
Hmm.
to sing, at least enough. You know? So to get people to understand that there are people out here that do more than one thing.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and excel at all of those things. By the way,
well, I ain't gonna say all of that, but I love what I do. I really, really enjoy and I love what I do. And I know that it's something that everybody can't do.
mm,
So I'm grateful to have the ability. I'm grateful to be able to give what I can give for people, and
mm,
specifically for my community. To be able to use the talents that I have to push us forward, to make us feel better, to uplift us, to
yeah,
make us feel better about who we are. That's what it's for. That's what these type of platforms are for. You know.
yeah,
So
absolutely. So speaking of building up community and contributing to the culture, um, not to belabor the point, but that character of Kyle Barker represents so much for so many of us. So many people related to that character. Of course, we're entertained by that character. Um, but it showed a different type of black man, I think, in an era where gangster rap was starting to take over and there was a very kind of limited representation of what a black man could be. So it was really important to see that character, to see his range of emotions, to see that he was smart and slick with his tongue, to see that he was talented and knew music and he played piano and all these different things. Um, so again, thank you on behalf of myself and the audience for contributing to that culture, to the culture with that character.
thank
Um, uh, Also, have to mention that again, you are the voice of Kratos from
you.
God of War, and I've seen several gamers come in here and say, "Do the Kratos voice." So how has that been for you to go from stage to screen to video game work to animated work, just delving into all of those platforms? What's that like?
Man, you don't think about it. You go for the job. We trying to pick up
Mm.
the bag,
Hmm.
shouted. We're trying to pick up
Collecting bags,
the
yes,
bag.
indeed.
But however we can pick up the bag, that's what we're working to do.
I
For
hear
real.
you.
You exploit. I mean, okay. So you can exploit or you can be exploited.
Mm.
So most people allow themselves to be exploited. I was one of those people.
Hmm.
See, at some point you have to go, okay, but no, if I have what it is, then let me exploit that. If the money's going to be made, if it's going to be used, then let me figure out how it works best for me.
Understood. When did that transition happen for you? When did you take your power back?
Last year.
Hey, hey, tell the truth, shame the devil. Sometimes it's a journey, y'all. Ah, it's a journey.
No, I think the pandemic leveled the playing field, and it really kind of, when you see ABC News being done from somebody's den,
Mm,
you go, oh, huh, okay,
hmm.
okay. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
when Netflix is their viewership is it rivals anything on network TV. You understand the landscape has changed, and it's about intellectual property. And as a creative, I am the intellectual property.
absolutely.
So I'm working to pimp myself.
As you should. Why not? When you have so many gifts, use
Well,
them
yeah,
all.
a way to really make it make sense, not only for me, but
Mhm.
for what I'm working to leave behind. You know, I hoped when we were doing Living Single that Kyle would have the impact that he has. I never dreamed that it would be what it is. And so I understand that with that is a responsibility. So how do I use my platform to continue to help to push my culture forward, push my people forward, so we don't get stuck. I mean, we look at what's going on in this country right now, and they're trying to push us back.
Mm.
They're trying to push us back to some place where they want us to be. And it's like, well, y'all can try, but we have everything we need to have to move forward. Again, we don't need anybody. We have it all. And once we start to understand that, that's where the real power comes from. And that's what the powers that be are afraid of. But don't get
Mm.
me started. Don't get me started. What's this last song, Shouty?
Child, that was the last song, but you done started. You
What's the
preaching the
last song?
word. You preaching the word that the people need to hear, so you keep it going. Let's talk just for a minute before I let you go about artist responsibility, because you kind of opened the door for that. We're in a time and an age where people are famous for the sake of being famous,
Mm-hmm.
um, for doing things that are um, salacious or otherwise don't really contribute to the culture and to the edification and building up of people. Um, what do you think is the responsibility of the artist?
Well, I'm gonna go back to the responsibility of our community and our people.
Okay.
Um, Back in the day, Andy Warhol said there's going to come a time when people are just going to be about their 15 minutes of fame.
Hmm.
We're living in that time right now. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be seen. No time in my life have I ever lived where people put their personal life to judge and see. So it really is about us understanding the power of what this box does
Mm.
and how we can use that to move forward in this country without the help of somebody else. We're so conditioned to want the help of somebody else. That's how we got here. Massa had to do it. Massa changed into the government. So now the government's doing it. And we're buying Gucci and Prada and Bentleys. And I'm not saying like don't live your wealth. But what are we doing for our communities? I live in Atlanta and our black colleges are falling apart.
Yeah.
They're falling down. And why would I want to send my kid to a school that's in disrepair? But I see all this flossing on the gram. I see all these things. And again, I don't deny people, the spoils of their work and their wealth. But at some point, we have to understand that this is not going to change until we fix it. There's no vested interest in that anybody else has in our community other than us. And if we don't do it, it's not going to happen. If we don't hold our history, it's going to be erased. If we
Mm.
don't take care of us, we are going to fall by the wayside. So it's about us. I don't think about anybody else. I don't think about, oh, they do this. It's, it's about us. What are we doing? What are we doing with all the resources? Because if we think about it, everything runs on what we do and who we are.
That's it. That's it. As the saying goes, we all we got.
So, it's on us. At the end of the day, it's on us.
Hmm. Absolutely. So that community responsibility, is a day-to-day thing, is a person-to-person thing, but of course it also extends to entertainment and people that are in front of the public eye. Um, because as we mentioned earlier, for those who were with us since the beginning, for little TC growing up and seeing Nat King Cole on television, that represented somebody who looked like him. That encouraged you to grow up and do what you do. And seeing Kyle Barker on television represented somebody who looked like me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so that encourages me to now do what I'm doing right now. So the cycle can continue for the betterment of our community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, I saw Sammy Davis Jr., I saw Ben Vereen,
Hmm.
I saw Harry Belafonte, I saw Sidney Poitier.
Yes.
All these black men who were strong black men that were doing what they were doing
Yes.
at a time when we didn't see us doing that. We
Hmm.
went to the movie theaters to see Sidney. Not on. We didn't turn on Netflix. We went to movie theaters to see
Because
him.
he was a movie star, baby.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
it was an event.
yeah.
It was an event to go and see him. You know, I want us to get back to us appreciating us like that. I applaud Will and Jay-Z for the series, Women of the Movement, was it was
Oh yeah,
called.
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Oh my
Mothers
goodness,
of the Movement, I believe. Yes.
it was such a good series. And then the docu series afterwards, Let Them See,
Hmm.
which just in case you thought it was bullshit, okay, this is the documentation of what you just saw.
Right.
You know, and that's the thing we have to keep doing. Nobody's. That's what we have to do to make sure our young people understand that we have to keep pushing forward. We have to watch out for what we're doing. We have that we have in this country, or they'll be gone. And entertainers are an integral part of that. And I want us to understand that and use our platform more for that. Use it more to
Hmm.
push a positive agenda for our people.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, y'all, I hope y'all caught all of that because that was just a whole word, a whole message. We absolutely have to be our own historians. We have to continue to tell our stories, to reach back and to connect. Because I think often we get caught in our silos. The young people are over here and the elders are over there,
Right.
and nobody's talking to each other. And I think that we are strongest when we're connecting, when we're passing along wisdom, but also taking it and flipping it and making it cool and doing new things with it.
Right.
I think
Right.
it's very key, very key. Well, listen, I hope that you enjoyed yourself and you had a great time. Thank you for
I
carving out
did.
time in your schedule to share with us. We thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Jason. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And thank you, everybody, for tuning in and all the love and the comments I couldn't read. I'm sure they were great.
Someone was nasty. I kept going. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Damn.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
All the way up. Like these hearts that keep going up. They've been going up the whole time. I love it. We love to see it. So y'all keep these hearts going real big because he's about to jump off. But before you go, please tell the people what you have coming up next and where they can find
Okay, you can hit me up on my Instagram, which is official TC Carson.
you.
The
Hmm.
website, which should be a backup by tomorrow,
Okay.
is
Okay.
official TC Carson. Twitter is TC Carson, and you'll find scheduling and all that stuff on those spaces.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Do we have any exciting things in the works that you can talk about? Any
Not that
good
I can talk
music
about just
coming?
yet.
Okay.
Just yet. But I'll
Yeah. So that means y'all. I love it. So that just means y'all need to stay connected and stay
that's right.
tuned
Oh, we
because we
have
got some good stuff coming.
uh, Mister's gonna be out singing this summer, so just stay tuned, and hope
Hey,
to be in your city.
you heard it. You heard it. So make your voice heard. If there's a city you need to see him in, y'all make sure y'all let the people know, okay?
And if you live in a city with a city winery, hit them up. Tell them you want to see me there.
You heard it. You got a city with the city winery, Nashville, Chicago. It's a whole list of y'all. You got a
Hmm.
city winery in your city, let them know that you need to see TC Carson on stage, y'all. You will not regret it. Thank you again, TC, for joining us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everybody, for joining for Five Songs That Changed My Life, the 2022 premiere. Come back next Thursday. We'll have another exciting guest. I am your host, Pure. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good night, everybody.
Peace. Thank you, Jason.
Bye.
Bye.